Hello, everybody. Dr. Rick Wallace dropping in on you. Hope everybody is having an unbelievable day. Look, um, I am going to be direct and get right to the point today. I hope first and foremost that everybody is off to a great start. This is Thursday. We're already over hump day. Whether you work a 4 day, 5 day, or 6 day week, you're moving towards the finish line. You should be able to see the finish line. You should be able to see, okay, where you're at compared to where you desire to be when you set the goals for this week. Remember what I always tell you, though. Do not become discouraged if you're not where you think you should be. Do not become discouraged if you haven't made the progress you feel you should be making. If you hold yourself to an extremely high standard, then there's a good chance that you're probably not going to hit your goals all the time because you set them so high. That's okay. Fail forward. The goal is to get there. Sometimes it's going to take you a little bit longer to get to where you want to be. The thing is, you've got to finish. You have to have a commitment and a willingness to go the distance. That's what I want to talk to you about today. You know, when I sit up and I look back through history, I am a history fanatic. I'm beyond a history buff. I'm a history fanatic. I like to see, uh, how things moved and happened in history because it gives you an indication of behaviors, which is my area of expertise, but also the results that come out of those behaviors on a social, collective, political, and global level. So it's not just okay about personal performance. What happens in human history when things happen? How do people act in certain situations? And one of the things that when I start to look at success, I start to look at a need to put yourself into an uncomfortable situation. And one of the things I noticed is that during the World Wars and the Korean War and the Vietnamese War, the war in Vietnam, a large portion of the warriors that went to battle were drafted. But there were those who enlisted voluntarily. They literally signed up to put themselves in harm's way, to put their life on the line. And so, what was behind their willingness to put their lives on the line? If they had not been drafted yet, obviously the chance of getting drafted is always out there. But if they hadn't been drafted yet, why did they volunteer? Because almost each and every time there was something bigger than themselves at stake. There was a level of patriotism. They believed in what was going on. They believed and loved their country. This isn't about whether we justify that belief, whether we justify that love, whether we justify that patriotism. What it's about is something bigger than yourself will drive you to do things that you would not normally do. And what I look at, I say, when I look at success is something like that. In order to really to achieve a high level of success, you're going to have to enlist. You're going to have to literally sign up for the process. And the process includes pain, frustration, delay, disappointment, setbacks. All of these things are a part of the process. It's the learning and the development. Because see, what people don't get is we live in a world where everybody's wishing for something, but nobody's doing nothing. So nobody really truly understands that in order to have something, you got to be capable of producing it. So it's never really about what you want. It's about what you become. Because if I become the person that's capable, I then produce what I'm capable of producing. End of discussion. So then what am I getting? What I'm getting at is most people won't sign up for the process. Most people want a better life, but they are not committed to the process. They're not willing to embrace the process. They're not willing to get in, and they want it to fall in their lap. They want someone to come along and say, my God, you're so great at this. You're so good at this. Why don't you do this? They want someone to come along and offer them an opportunity. But the truth of the matter is, Edward Bernard Shaw once said that those who get on in this life are those who wake up in the morning and go out and create the opportunity. They go out and find the opportunity they need. If the opportunity is not readily available or it does not exist, they create one. It's not the one sitting around waiting on somebody to do something for them. It's not the one sitting around hoping and something's going to happen in due time. It's not the one sitting around saying, if I just wish for it, if I just pray for it. It's the ones that saying, I'm going to put my faith to work. I'm going to exercise the work of my faith by carrying out step-by-step processes that improve and enhance who I am. I'm going to change the way I think. I'm going to change the way I walk. I'm going to change the way I process things. I'm going to change the people I hang around. I'm going to change what time I get up in the morning. I'm going to change how I think and focus when I get up in the morning. I'm going to move from focusing on my problems to looking for reasons to be grateful, because gratitude is the gateway to abundance. The things I want can't come through the narrow hallway of jealousy, envy, strife, worry, fear, and anxiety. I've got to understand, I've got to do a little something different. Oh, yeah, you got to sign up for that inconvenience. Oh, that doesn't sound but see, if you look back in life, those who have achieved greatness signed up for something difficult. The people I look at and admire, the path to their legend was not a path that the average person would choose. I've read the memoirs of Dr. Martin Luther King, where he lamented about making the choice of doing the things that he did late in his life that changed the way the world looked at him and made him public enemy number one to the powers that be. See, as long as they could get him to be a buffer and talk about dreams and all, but when he started talking about cash and checks and holding America accountable, he became an enemy. And he lamented over that. He talked about one night, in the middle of the night, he got out of the bed and sat at the table and was drinking a cup of coffee and said, I don't want to die. But this is the same man that says that a man that does not have something for which he is willing to die is not fit to live. He walked in that. Malcolm knew what he was doing, where it was leading, but he had something he had to give the world, and it was coming at a hefty price, but he left a legacy. Now, I'm not talking about going out risking your life, but I am talking about investing yourself at a level that it's going to be uncomfortable while you make the journey, because the journey to greatness is not on a smooth road. It's a rocky, unstable, and winding road that's going to take you on some ups and downs, some ebbs and flows, some difficult situations. You're not going to get to the next level by cruising. You're not going to get to the next level by hopping in and out of things. Every time something becomes a little challenging, something becomes a little difficult, you want to pull out and move to the next thing. That's why there's no consistency. That's why there is no true level of success, is because you're running from the challenge. You are balking on the commitment to finish what you start. You got to be totally in. You got to sign up for the inconvenience. Oh, man, who wants to do that? That's why you have a whole category called average and mediocre. Average is where everybody is at by default. See, if I just show up and do only what I have to do, if I just show up and do what everybody else is doing. See, in order to have the things that most people don't have, you got to be willing to do the things that most people won't do. And see, that's not the average person. The average person is going to do what everybody else is doing, and you're going to get what everybody else is getting. But then you're not going to be fulfilled. You're not going to be happy, because you're going to sit up and look, and there are going to be some people that are doing things that you are not doing. There are going to be some people that are living at a level you're not living at. And then what you'll do is you'll develop a mentality that finds a way to deride that person, finds a way to disqualify that person, finds a way to make yourself comfortable in your mediocrity. The truth of the matter is there's nothing anybody else has that you can't have if you're willing to make the sacrifice. And you don't have to compromise your media. You don't have to compromise your morality. You don't have to compromise your ethics, but you are going to have to compromise your comfort. You are going to have to get out of the corner of comfort. You are going to have to step off into a world that you're not familiar with. You are going to have to go out and do some things you never even thought you would be able to do. You're going to have to trust the process. You're going to have to understand that while you're not While you're not perfect, the process is. What do I mean by? I mean the process is complete. The process will prepare you. The process will empower you. The process will develop you. The process will place you exactly where you need to be to have the things you need to have. This is not a wish game. You need to put the wishes aside. This is not a wish game. This isn't this place where you sit up and you show up and say, man, it would be nice to have. I want this. I don't care how bad you want it. I don't care how many times you say it. The people who talk about all these things need to be completely honest about how they work. You can say it all day, I want it, but until you start to take action and move toward it, you cannot manifest it. It is manifest. Well, you manifest it the moment you think it. But you got to cultivate it. You cultivate it by your action. You cultivate it by actually acting on what you say you believe. If you don't act on it, then it's not really truly a belief. It's just something you're saying because it sounds good. But see, when you truly believe it, you move on it, you act on it, you trust it, even when you can't see it. See, that's faith. Faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. It's so when I can't see it, I don't say it's not there. I say I can't see it. I'm trusting it. I'm moving on faith. I'm operating because it's going to show up in due time. Why? Because my study of history, my study of life, my study of the universe, my study of God tells me that if I plant it, I cultivate it, I work it, it shall harvest. There's absolutely nothing I have to sit up and say. If I put out, it comes back. Now, it may not come back when I want it to. It may not come back at the time that I want it to. Rarely does something of great measure come when you want it because, see, you set this high standard and then you come up with this time frame and you really haven't truly evaluated just how much you're going to have to go through to be the person that can do and have what you say you want. And you're reaching out. So you get to that point, then you become discouraged. That's another place where people balk. People balk at the first failed goal. Man, I tried. Try again. Then try again. Then try again. Hell, Edison stood up and tried thousands of times on that freaking light bulb and truly never really mastered it until Lewis Latimer came along with the filament and said, this is how you keep the thing on, man. But what he didn't do was quit. What if he'd have quit? Latimer would have never been able to give him the filament. We still wait maybe 10, 15 more years for somebody to decide to create the light bulb or master the light bulb again. But because he wouldn't quit and because he was open to being outside of his box, Latimer was able to present the filament. They were able to make the light bulb stay on and not blow out quickly. And now you have it. Now they're studying, increasing and improving and enhancing the technology, and light bulbs are lasting longer and longer and longer. But what if you'd have given up on the 10th try? What if you'd have given up on the 50th try? What if you'd have given up on the 100th? You make up in your mind that you're going to do something, then you finish it. Tell people all the time, it sounds cliche-ish, but that's as simple as it gets for me. I make up my mind I'm going to do something, then I have two options. Complete the task or die trying. No other options, just simply not going to be a quitter. I define my alternatives clearly. The alternatives are finish what you start, die in the process of trying to finish, or relent and don't finish, and that makes you a quitter. I don't sit up and dress it up. Well, I recalibrated, I rethought it, I reevaluated all that bull crap we do to dress up our quitting so that it doesn't sound like quitting, but it is quitting because you ain't finished nothing. But you want everything. You haven't finished anything, you haven't committed, but you want everything. When people are surprised, they're actually shocked. When they come and they sit down with me and we talk and they tell me all the things they want, and they tell me that I work with one of their friends, or I work with someone they knew, and I come highly recommended, and they sit down there telling me all these things, and they sit down and they literally come. They already know because they talking to the person who's worked with me, so they know what I charge. So they come and they got their credit card ready. So are you gonna send me an invoice or something? Or what are you gonna do? And then when I sit up and say, well, you know what? I don't think we're going to be a good match. You probably should find someone else, but I don't think we're going to be a good match. I don't attack them. I don't degrade them, but I just tell them I don't think we're going to be a good match. And they're shocked. They're trying to figure out what? You're turning down my money. Look, I'm turning it down. And the truth of the matter is you're not committed. You're not ready to go the distance. You just happen to have money. And so that actually makes it challenging, because if you have money, you're not desperate are really struggling to get to somewhere, you're in that comfort zone. Oh, that man, when you have enough to where you can get by without really worrying about something, you're in a comfort zone that's dangerous, because if it gets tough, you don't have to stay there because you still were okay before you started. But see, I'm not in a place where okay is fine with me. I'm not in a place where, you know what, at least everything I need is taken care of. No, I'm not. I'm in that place where I'm trying to reach the next level. I'm in that place where I want the best out of my life every day. That means I ain't never gonna wake up and then feel like, okay, I'm good. I don't care what level I reach. There's another level I'm striving for. If I'm alive and breathing, I'm trying to get somewhere. If I'm alive and breathing, I'm trying to do something greater than I did yesterday. I never want to stop growing. I never want to stop expanding. I never want to stop expanding my reach. I want to be better tomorrow than I am today. That's why I'm living, so that I can touch lives at a greater capacity, so that I can help people change their lives. But people get shocked, so you're not, no, I'm sorry. I apologize. It was great talking to you, but no, I don't think we're going to be a good match. And, I'll recommend some people if you want me to, but I don't think we're going to be a good match. Luckily, I haven't had to do that a lot, but I've done it. And people are shocked, because my thing is, when I sit down with you, yes, I want to get paid for what I do. I bring value to the table, and I never charge someone more than the value that I'm bringing them. I'm bringing you a value so much greater than what I'm charging you. But see, money is only one part of the component when I work with people. The other part, and the most important part to me, is results. I want to actually be able to say, when I sit down with you, that we're going to accomplish the thing we sit down to accomplish. Why? That's important to me. I have a plus 99% success rate. Why? Because number one, I don't work with people who aren't ready. Number two, I go the distance with you. I'm going to be there with you. We're going to walk it out. I'm going to get you over a lot of the hurdles you didn't even realize were there and may not know how to get around. I'm going to help you shorten the curve. I'm going to help you make the moves that you need to make. I'm going to call you and ask you to show up every day. It doesn't mean I'm gonna call you every day, but I'm gonna demand that you show up every day, that you show up to the challenge every day, that you give every day your best. I'm gonna hold you accountable. Then I'm gonna show you where you're making your missteps. Then we're gonna make the corrections. Then we're gonna move down the line. We're gonna go step by step with a clear goal in mind of what's at the end of this journey. Here's what I want to do. I want to find a person, one, maybe two, who is really, truly committed to going that distance. And for those who are wondering, and I'm serious about this, I only want the serious, I only want the committed. And you can look in the description box. It's going to tell you what my platinum package costs. My platinum package is for a year. In a year, we can have some exceptionally advanced, marked. And when I say marked, that means you can look at it and say, this is where I was last year. This is where I'm now. Marked progress. You could be at the next level in your thinking, in your movement, in your position, and in so many other ways. The thing is, it's not about resources in the sense of what's going to determine how successful you are, because resources come and go. Life ebbs and flows. You're going to have some great financial times. You're going to have some times where it's challenging. You're going to have all these different things happen. But if you have the right psychology, if you have the right mindset, if you understand that no matter what happens, I got this. If you have the right mindset of understanding, I am the resource. Your greatest resource is not what you have in your bank account or what you have in the way of, I'm about to age myself. I almost said Rolodex, but in your contact list or whatever way you think. Those are great to have. Resources are always great to have because those are the quick go-tos. But at the end of the day, you're never, ever in lack. Why? If you know you are resourceful. Why? Resourcefulness says there's nothing here, but I'll figure it out. Resourcefulness says that I have a challenge and the answer is on the way. Why? Because I have the mind of God around me, and the mind of God has all the answers. There's no solution. There's no problem without a solution. Absolutely none. So I'm never in a place where I'm going to become frenetic and unglued. I'm never in a place where I'm becoming anxious. I'm never in a place, my wife sits up and she tells me, one of the things that really stabilizes me in our relationship with you is you never become shaken. You never get your heart rate up. You never be, it's like you got this real, and it's like, and at first she used to perceive that as I didn't care or that I was totally ignoring the situation. No, I win. I may not win today, but I win. I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to overcome it. I'm going to rise to the occasion. There are some things it took me years to get over, but I never stood up and just, oh my God, look, man, it should have happened by now. Oh my God. No. What I love about this universe that God created is the longer I have to fight for something to bring to fruition, the greater the reward. So what I thought when I started out thinking it was only going to take 6 months, it was only going to take a year, what I thought I was going to get in that month, in that 6 months, in that year, if it took me 3-4 years to get it, it's quadrupled in what I thought I was going to get initially. So I'm rewarded for my consistency, for my commitment, for my relentlessness, for the inability, for the refusal to quit. I'm rewarded. So if I have to work a couple of extra years to make something happen, and I know that makes a bunch of people balk, and if you can't see that, then we can't work together, because this isn't a wish list. This isn't a microwave journey. This is about building yourself, expanding yourself, becoming something that no matter what happens to you in life, you are going to be fine. Why? Because it's not about your things. It's about you. But if you really and truly are seriously committed, there's a link in the box. Or if you need to contact me directly to get a greater understanding, I'm willing to talk to you. But again, this is only for the serious committed. Now, there is a link in there for those of you who are looking for shorter term situations. I have packages below, but the platinum package, my clients, I'm surprised if one of them isn't on, but they normally show up and talk. But like, if you go through and you look at some of the videos, you'll see some of them on there, and they'll tell you what it's like to work with me. I've had a few of them re-up more than once because they get the guaranteed growth. It's not like, okay, see, that's the whole thing. It's not like you get to a destination and say, I've arrived. By the time I get to working with you, that arrive thing, like, okay, this is where we were headed. I'm here now, but I'm just getting started. Hey, doc, you want to go for it again? Hey, it's up to you. You ready to go? And the whole thing is building this mindset. So event, you get to a point and you've learned everything you can learn at a moment to get in there. And so now you have this own system of your own that you go out and acquire knowledge. You go out and acquire what you need to advance yourself. But the truth of the matter is, if you don't have the mindset to grow, the things you say you want that are out of your reach will always be out of your reach, because you will always see them for where you're standing or where you're sitting now. You're going to have to move in order to see them up close, in order to be able to reach out and touch them. You can't touch them from where you're at. You're going to have to move. And the problem is, moving ain't easy. We are creatures of habit. We will literally lock ourselves into a place simply because we know it. We don't have to like it. We just have to know it. A bunch of your own jobs right now you can't stand, but you know it. You know, with a great deal of predictability, what the next couple of months are going to look like at your job. You know, because of your job, what the next few months are going to look like at your home and your life, and whether or not you're going to go, what you're going to do for the holidays, if you celebrate the holidays, what you're going to do for vacation, if you take a vacation. All of those things are already dictated and predictable by the job you own that you hate. But why are you there? Because I know it. I'm familiar with it. Familiarity is a dangerous thing because it gets you comfortable. You got to become comfortable with being uncomfortable. I tell people all the time, they're like, what are you talking about? I'm talking about just that. If I get to where I'm too eased, like there isn't a sense of urgency about what I'm doing, I actually become uneasy. Why? Because I done got comfortable. And I know that nothing good happens in that corner of comfort. Yeah, wake up, everything. But no, I can't grow there. I can't expand there. I can't develop greater character in comfort. Oh, character comes out of adversity. Character comes out of being in that space that you're uncomfortable in. And then there come those people. I'll say this, then I'm done. There come those people. Oh my God. Somebody's going to actually spend that much. What kills me is how we prioritize. We say we want some things, but when it comes to investing in the greater things, because we don't see their value, because we think on the surface, we don't see it. The same people who will tell me that there's no way that they can afford to pay me are the same people I see driving cars that they really can't afford, wearing clothes, jewelry, purses, and all other kind of things that on the outside gives the impression that they've arrived, but you're not investing in yourself. Those things are going to wear out. Those things probably depreciated in value before you walked out of the showroom, walked out of the department store, wherever. But you won't invest in yourself. You won't invest in something that literally will appreciate, will gain greater value, can only get stronger, can only get bigger, can only get better. You won't invest in it because you haven't been trained to see it. You don't see the value in that. And so you get caught up in presenting the image, but not developing the person who can literally live the life. See, I don't care what people think about how I look. I dress to be comfortable. What I have in my mind and my heart doesn't require me to have certain things on. Now, if I have a fetish, I have a fetish. I have a fetish with watches. My watch collection used to sit behind me in my office at home. It's still in my office at home, but I haven't brought it here. But I used to have it in my office. I got a fetish for shoes and liquors and cigar. Now, I used to do the clothes thing, crazy clothes thing, and and it just after a while I grew out of it, and it's just like it got old. My kids used to tease my older kids who are 9 and 30s. When they were teenagers, used to tease me. It's like they used to sit up and literally talk about, let's see how many times he comes home and changes. Because I would change 2 or 3 times a day. And then I just got to a point, man, I'm about to be comfortable. I'm going to take me a shower, put this thing on. This thing is comfortable. I like it to be cold, so I'm normally going to have a hoodie on because the environment around me is cold. The AC is blowing out. I don't know if you can hear it. But I stopped worrying about what other people was thinking, and I started worrying about being comfortable with me and being so good at what I do. People totally ignored the fact that I was in a hoodie. When I speak and lecture on stage, I'm in a t-shirt and a cap or a hoodie. When I'm interviewed, I'm in a t-shirt and a cap and a hoodie. Will I put on something? Will I clean up? I've been told I clean up well. And will I clean up? Yep, in the right situation. But for the most part, do me. And that's something my mentor taught me. Say, if you don't want to be in compliance with the standard, with the norm, there's only one way that you can get away with it and live and operate in their world, the business world, the high-end world, whatever you want to call it. That is, you got to have the gold, because he who has the gold makes the rules. So I determined what the gold would be as far as I was concerned. And it would be the knowledge of self-improvement. It would be the knowledge of business mastery. It would be those things. And I was able to do it at a level that people contact me and they see right past the fact that I'm a Black man, which is real. Let's be honest. They see past the fact that if I have on a short sleeve t-shirt, that I'm a Black man with tattoos. And then if I don't, I'm a Black man that's walking around very casual. But what they will find within the first minute of a conversation is I'm a Black man that's extremely confident, that I'm a Black man that knows what I'm talking about. And I'm a Black man that's not intimidated by anybody you put in front of me, because I worked hard to become me. Now, some people will still be turned off by me, and I'm good with that. And that's something you got to learn. You got to learn how to be good with the fact that not everybody's going to feel you. I don't spend any time trying to get somebody to feel me. I'm pretty good at that myself. So I don't need my ego stroked. Can we do something together? Can we build something together? Can we make something happen? That's the question. Can I bring something to the table that helps you? Do you have something that will benefit me? If there is, let's have a fair exchange, and now let's make something happen. Other than that, I have nothing to prove. That's the thing you get when you develop. You move into a whole nother world that the vast majority of people don't experience. On that note, look, I'm gonna get ready to get out of here. If you're really truly serious, reach out to me, click that link and make it happen, or reach out to me and let's take the next step. But again, only those who are serious need apply. On that note, I'm getting ready to get out. As I always say, I live my life on full so that when I leave this place, I die on E. I'm challenging you to do the same thing. Don't be that person that takes the best of yourself to the grave with them. That's what living on full means. It means that I'm not taking an ounce of my potential to the grave with me. Every day I wake up, I'm going to give that day everything I have for that day. That day will not be cheated because I don't feel like it. It will not be cheated because somebody ticked me off. It will not be cheated because, oh my God, it's tough today. It will not be cheated. I will give that day every ounce of me. And I will go to bed, rest, and recover. And I wake up and I'll do it again the next day. I'm challenging you to live life on full so that you don't eat. On that note, I'm out of here. You guys have an unbelievable day.